national championships, they're irregular, flirting with the Final Four. And for TCU, their first ever trip to the Sweet 16. And the tip controlled by TCU.
Notre Dame plays man-to-man primarily. They might sprinkle in some zone. TCU is a man-to-man team.
Trying to get a touch immediately for Sandora Prince, knocked away by Maddie Westfeld.
That's the challenge for Notre Dame, is defending that high-low game from TCU with 6'7" Sandora Prince on the block.
The sense of urgency for both of these clubs palpable. The majority of players on the floor today will not be back next year. Hidalgo hits her first shot. 40-minute women today. They did not go very deep in their second-round win. Van Lith, Sedona, two-man game, bucket.
That means that she's going to stay in the paint on any ball screen action in the middle third. There's going to be mid-range jump shots available.
Capital One starting lineup for the Fighting Irish. Will Maddie Westfeld be a difference maker today? She did not play due to injury in their regular season showdown, which TCU won as Liatu King drives and scores for Notre Dame. Prince with the handoff, bucket. A double-double for the Fighting Irish as Citron pulls up, and another rebound for King.
Going to see a lot of threes in this game. Both teams shoot it very well with high frequency, and both teams have a high percentage, better than 38.
Notre Dame, in fact, #1 from downtown. TCU top 10 in both percentage and makes per game, as Van Lith will walk it across midcourt. Hailey now in her 5th season in her 3rd different school, her 5th time in the Sweet 16. She's been here every year. And Eminoku.
There are 5 different players that have made 30 or more threes for TCU. They have a lot of weapons outside the arc.
Everybody on the perimeter here for Notre Dame. Westfeld, she's got the range. That is huge for the Irish because she's been cold, Debbie, the last few weeks from the floor.
I think the three-point line is going to determine this game. Can Notre Dame guard the three-point line, and can Westfeld make enough threes to pull Sandora Prince out of the paint?
Good backdoor cut. All 5 of their starters and pretty much their entire rotation transfers in the last 2 years under Mark Campbell. The drive from Miles, denied.
Good help inside, and you have to be sitting on that right hand of Olivia Miles. You cannot let her drive right. She's too talented, sees the floor, can make plays for herself and others.
Van Lith immediately attacks Miles.
This team is prepared to try to get the right switches to put certain players for Notre Dame, including Miles, at a deficit.
And that is turned over by the Irish. This is a veteran group that has amongst themselves a national championship, 3 trips to the Final Four, Elite 8 experience.
Yeah, they've got players that have been around for a while. That's why they understand this stage. We might see some zone sooner than I thought out of Notre Dame.
Citron over the top of Prince.
How beautiful is that?
Hidalgo picked off. And now Prince with the size advantage, trying to go to work on Liza Carlin, and does. Scoring in the lane. And now 6 years later, together here, fueling this run.
This is a big lineup on the floor for Notre Dame right now.
Yeah, they've gone with 2 bigs, Debbie. Hidalgo gets into the shot blocker and draws the foul. This will be her 184th free throw attempt of the season. 24 points per game, 3rd best in the country. They may need her disruptiveness. King got a hand in the passing lane, and a foul going to be called on Nopu for the push. Good hustle play.
They called a foul on that?
Yes, they did.
I would have just said out of bounds.
Hidalgo hard off the back iron. Prosper keeps it alive. For a Notre Dame team that shared the ACC regular season championship, they have wins over 3 of the top 5 seeded teams in this tournament. King with a catch and a finish. They had been flirting with the #1 line.
Well, they lost 3 out of 5, and they're one of 4 teams this season that have been #1 in the country. We've had a really great year in the women's game. The product is absolutely outstanding.
Hidalgo's got it. Uses the bump from Caval, shakes a defender. And Van Lith able to track down the rebound. Spins on Hidalgo, gets by her with the left hand.
Keeping players in front, there's a time to take a risk, but you got to keep Van Lith in front right now.
King able to clean up the Caval miss. Neil Ivey did not like that.
Sedona Prince not coming out of the paint allows Westbell to feature the best part of her game.
Bad pass there from Van Lith, picked off by the Irish. Hidalgo with the cross, gets into the lane, and again, drawing the foul.
Olivia Miles, late to come out to the floor, was back in the training room, getting some work on that left ankle, and you see her, she's jumping around, she's stretching.
And then they took down Michigan in the second round. She did play in that game. And they were not allowed to get the substitution in the game, so Emma Nopu stays out there with 2 fouls. Number 21 in white, here she is.
Westbell battling Prince inside. So Citron not letting Van Lith get the ball back. That's a great play.
Steps into the lane. That's another all-ACC team defender with the steal and score. And that'll take care of the first quarter of play. It's a 1-point standoff. Led by Van Lith with 6. Hidalgo and King with 6 apiece for Notre Dame. Neil Ivey mentioning the work of King and especially the disruptive defense. They have forced 5 turnovers already, in and out from Westbell.
I love the set. They go to horns. They set the flare for Westbell. Prince is going to have to come out and contest.
Big B had it knocked loose, and Hidalgo banged it off her leg. It's Notre Dame ball.
Got to be disruptive. You heard Neil Ivey say, got to be more disruptive with their defense.
Citron, the nice reverse over her head. First 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament without a turnover. Prince, again, they defend her 1v1. This time it's Westbell in and out.
Westbell really physical on the block, holding her ground. There's a slip by King, so Miles could pull it back.
Off the cross, the step back.
Yeah, Citron has one of the most decorated resumes at Notre Dame that it needs a Final Four on it. That's the only thing missing.
Connor with her second triple of the ball game.
You can't give her any space. She sees the floor so well, and she creates space.
Miles around and down, a little flex as she heads back down the floor.
Shooters got to see the floor as well. People always talk about passers seeing the floor, and that's important. But shooters have to be able to read screens, angles, and second and third level defense.
Prince off the bounce. And she did just pick up her second foul. So 2 starters with 2 for TCU.
Good help by Emma Nopu. Nice job there. It's an emergency switch. Hailey Van Lith block and trail behind Citron. Good job reading the D right there.
Van Lith tried the backdoor cut. Citron was right there with her. Connor draws the foul on Hidalgo. A few years ago in the bubble. Hey, coming up, the women's basketball Sweet 16. And then over on ESPN, Oklahoma, UConn, K-State, USC. Citron against Van Lith. Prosper, good cut to the rim. Fighting Irish average close to 20 fast break points per game. Amongst the best in the country as Van Lith misses there. King immediately faces up, gets into the triple threat, and attacks.
I like it.
TCU's missed its last 5 shots, so they're going to go inside the line this time and inside the paint for Prince. Look at that battle. The Lady Vols back into the Sweet 16, and Vic Schaefer and the Texas Longhorns, the #1 seed.
It's impressive when you count his Mississippi State days as well as what he's done at Texas.
Madison Connor with 9 to lead TCU. 8 for Liatu King to lead the way for the Fighting Irish. Citron for 3. And the team with the best three-point percentage in the country is now 3 for 10 on the day. Excuse me, 2 for 10 on the day. Has not been falling for Notre Dame. But their defense has been a difference. Already 10 points off of turnovers. Hidalgo trying to make it a dozen. Good follow-up by Citron.
Was she reestablished? Hidalgo went out of bounds.
Yeah, we just saw it there from the Fighting Irish. Hidalgo back to the free throw line for the 3rd time here in the first half. She's now 4 of 5.
She's so energetic. She comes out. She sets the tone in the warm-ups. She wants to make sure her team gets off to a really good start, and you can feel her energy when she's out here getting ready to play.
Yale now in her 5th season with the Fighting Irish, a national champion on their 2001 team under the legendary head coach Muffet McGraw. She's 1 for 2 at the line so far, 7 points. She had 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 8 blocks down in the Cayman Islands when they beat Notre Dame.
Mobility and size, length. You have an IQ defensively. This is drop right here. She's yelling drop. She's yelling left.
Hidalgo can't knock it down. She is now 1 for 7, Debbie.
Beth, you got to weak the middle third with Notre Dame, meaning you got to send Miles and Hidalgo to the left. You can't let them get to their strong right hand. They're too talented.
Connor off the bounce again. They try and attack Miles, and this time Olivia strips it loose. Fixes her goggles, eyes up. Nice no-look pass to Westbeld for the lay-in.
Passes off of one hand, one dribble, and you got to keep her on the left side to try to take something away from her.
After Hailey's good start, Notre Dame's defense has kept her quiet here in the second quarter. And right on cue, she drives and scores.
And that space doesn't happen if Prince isn't posting up hard, sealing, working to try to make space for a driving lane.
1 minute to go here in the first half. Sweet 16.
I want the screen assist, the cut assist, the post-up assist.
You're preaching to the point guard choir here. Put it in the suggestion box.
Yeah, okay.
It's filling up. Well-balanced attack for the Irish.
You know I don't call it a suggestion box, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it might be a solutions box.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Van Lith and Prince, two-man game again. Off the crossover. Trying to get Sedona a touch as Caval keeps moving her away, and a foul on Hidalgo on the shooter. That'll be the second on Hannah.
Yeah,
run deep.
And because it's a defensive possession, you don't want to put her in a situation to pick up that third right here before the half. I wouldn't even bring a screen here, Beth. I'd let her go. Don't bring two to the ball, and if two do come to the ball, I might trap it.
Nope, Hidalgo's going to call for it. They switch on it with high hands, and then they leave her. Hidalgo gets the shot up in time. Citron, and that'll be it, one effort. 2-point advantage for Notre Dame into the locker room. 2-point advantage for the Irish as we start out the third quarter. Balanced attack for both sides. Prince, Connor, and Van Lith, 9 points, 9 points, and 8 points. And the entire starting five involved for Notre Dame. Hidalgo doing her damage at the free throw line has been cold from the floor through the first 20 minutes.
Emma Nopu doing a great job stuffing that high-low game. Notre Dame did score in their high-low, one basket in the first half.
Same starting units out there for both sides. A big three carrying the load for TCU. And the Irish taking advantage of the giveaways. That's been the story here because TCU shot 50% in the first half. But the turnovers allowed Notre Dame to stay right with them.
And when you have a left-handed point guard like Van Lith who rejects that screen and allows Prince a roll, that is so well done. And while Mark Campbell calls Hailey Van Lith more than just a shot maker, she has been a playmaker for them.
This is her 20th NCAA tournament game, more than any active player, one more than Paige Beckers. In her 5th year after starting out at Louisville, a stop at LSU, and now completing her career in Fort Worth, and Westbeld with a snub.
The lane line by Prince.
Prince attacking Westbeld, and Sedona picks up her 3rd personal foul. Well, we talked about what a difference Westbeld could make today. She did not play in their regular season matchup. And Hidalgo. Van Lith, the hesitation, knocked loose. Miles, another beautiful feed. Miles, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game, and shooting 40% from the floor. Only Sabrina and Caitlin have done that in the last 25 years.
I think Sedona Prince needs to go back to the left side of the floor where she's had success, and Westbeld is really physical in that matchup.
Miles feeling it right now, and a shimmy shake down the floor.
Maybe.
Van Lith and Prince. Westbeld is there waiting, forcing her to give it up. Hunter short. Emma Nopu crashes with 4 blue jerseys. Irish have the arrow, and right now they are on a 7-0 run. Trying to shake TCU loose here early in this 3rd.
They like Westbeld off that flare screen.
Hidalgo, the quick first step. Man, the emotion from Hannah. She screams, "Let's go," to her teammates. Prince working 1v1. And that's going to be a foul on Westbeld. In the NCAA tournament and get Notre Dame back to the Final Four. They have not been since 2019. Prince knocks down the 2nd.
An excellent free throw shooter for a 6'7" player. Toe in the nail.
If Miles goes to the W, expected to be a top 5 pick, Hidalgo certainly headed that way at the end of her career, and she draws a foul. And the players have really bought into what, according to them, was it hostile?
They went back to South Bend, had a couple of days, and regrouped.
Connor will turn it back into a half-court game. Van Lith, the fade, knocks it down. Under 5 to go in the 3rd.
See how they're pushing her left now? You see what Hunter was just doing right there? And then you let her get back to her right, but that's the eraser behind on the 2nd level.
And 4:43 to go, outscoring TCU 11-6. Coming out of the locker room. Citron to Westbeld, rejected by Prince. The 7th best shot blocker in the country this year.
TCU needs to execute right here. They're trying to slow the game down a little bit because of their lack of depth. It's going to be a perfect time to run something.
Van Lith and Prince and Connor.
There it is,
and there it is. Van Lith from Prince. King filling the lane, and Van Lith with the block.
Stood her straight up with a little snarl to go with it.
Horned Frogs fans on their feet with the defense from TCU, and then the offense at the other end. Prince fouled by Westbeld, and that's her 3rd.
Oh, I love the emotion of March. Look at this play. That's all ball right there. And then Prince running the floor and getting a quality catch inside, getting the free throw.
Hey, for the 5th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. Gets the 2nd one.
When you get to March and you get to this moment in games, possession shrink, the court shrinks, there's not easy buckets, you have to execute.
That's another block shot for TCU. And then a foul on Citron.
The journey to get here, Beth, is so hard. And once you get here, you don't want to just settle and be happy to be in the Sweet 16. You want to keep winning.
Winner to face either Texas or Tennessee. That's up next. That is the fourth block of this quarter for TCU.
I would go right to Prince right here with Carlin on her. That's not the same physicality or size in the Westbeld matchup. And look at the D by Hidalgo.
Gets the strip with numbers. Hannah will take it the distance and miss the layup. King to Prosper in a foul.
She's got to stay on her feet a little bit. I know sometimes she falls to sell the foul. And this time, you know, they don't transition the other way.
Prosper knocks down a pair. Prosper going to get called for a foul. Interesting, Debbie, with the reliance on three-point shooting.
Campbell takes Sedona Prince out. Gives her a little bit of a break right here.
At this end of the floor, they've missed their last 8 shots. King in the paint. Gets it off the window. Van Lith. 10 on the shot clock. Connor attacking Hidalgo. Gets inside to score. Inching towards 10 minutes to go, possibly in their season and in their collegiate careers. And a chance for TCU to take the lead.
Running their chin action right here. Getting great movement without Prince on the floor.
Now foul inside. And her first trip today. Got it. Miles drops it off for King. The ball fake and goes to the other side to protect with the rim. She's been to a Final Four with Louisville last year in the Elite Eight with LSU, and trying to continue this magical run for TCU. The Intuit need to know, and there are your numbers now in her 5th trip to the NCAA Tournament, seeking that elusive national championship. Into the fourth quarter we go. The winner into the Elite Eight with a date against Texas or Tennessee. That's our second game coming up this afternoon here on ABC.
Westbeld back on the floor with Prince.
Prince from Van Lith, and that is the 4th foul on Westbeld. And Prince back to the free throw line. 9 for Connor, 10 for Van Lith. They've been relying heavily on that trio all year, and that's who they'll turn to.
Prince 9 for 10 at the free throw line.
Westbeld is out. Caval is in. The 6'5 freshman. Miles with the hesitation. Misses the layup. Caval misses again.
The game plan for TCU to shift Notre Dame to the left side. Make their drivers go left. Make Miles go left. She's missed twice at the rim with her left hand.
Miles 3 for 8. Hidalgo 3 for 14 today. Van Lith fouled on the drive. Resuscitating careers and lives, Hailey Van Lith talking after their second round win about her own struggles with mental health, in that they have found a home here.
He's done an excellent job. When you win 33 games in the Big 12, I'd say you've done something pretty special and earned the Coach of the Year in the Big 12. And finalist for the Naismith National Coach of the Year.
Can they close it out against the Fighting Irish? Miles, the step back. That won't go. They have not allowed Notre Dame to shoot it like they usually do from deep. Now 3 of 16 for the best shooting team in the country from downtown. Van Lith, wide open look. Got it. And a chef's kiss goes under.
You can't go under on a three. And look at Corey. That's Dad. He's loving it. You're going to pay.
Under 8 minutes to go, an 11-2 run. They're outscoring Notre Dame 7-0 to open up the quarter, and there's Citron. Collision out top, a block underneath. To fall back on that composure. To get through this fourth quarter, they have not had a ton of close games this year as Prince scores inside. Miles weaving her way to 15 feet away, and in and out it goes, and Caval gets the rebound and a foul. Prince and Van Lith with 19 apiece. That was the fourth foul on Eminopu, so each side has a starter in trouble. Sonia gets the second.
And has done it during the season, especially at the end of the fourth quarters.
Van Lith on the switch. She's got Citron defensively. Prince picks her off, and Hailey charges to the rim.
What a change of pace.
Her big season continues now with 21, and that's a TCU single-season points record for Van Lith in her one-and-done campaign in Fort Worth. Citron. Irish are taking tough shots, but they're crashing the glass.
Can't panic right here, Beth. You got to run your stuff. It's what Niele Ivey said. Poise.
King got into the defender. And with that in mind, Miles and Westfeld will check back in for the Irish at the next whistle. Van Lith looking to go to work. Stepping back, shot clock winding down. The defense leaves her, and she hits for three. Out of the timeout for Hidalgo. King going to work on Prince, and a foul on Sedona. King at the line. Misses the first, followed by LSU, UCLA.
She averages a double-double.
She and Anissa Morrow of LSU, the only two in the Sweet 16 that boast of that. Van Lith looking to get it back to Prince. Instead, it's Nopu. The step through, banks it in, got away with a walk.
She sure did.
Miles picks up the dribble.
Mismatch with Westfeld inside.
She calls for it, spins and hits. Still a three-possession game. And now Van Lith with the mismatch on Westfeld attacking. Here comes Notre Dame. Miles to King. Missed it. Rebound Connor and a foul.
You got to be strong, Beth. You got to play the game low to high right here. You got to handle. You got to get it over midcourt.
Van Lith. They are working that clock. She and Prince getting set to go. Off the hesitation, the drive. Hailey Van Lith.
Notre Dame
26.
They've gone under all that ball screen action on Van Lith, and she's still getting to the rim.
Hidalgo fouled on the drive. Has talked openly about her mental struggles in dealing with the attention and the fame that has come her way. In and out from Hidalgo, and Van Lith with the rebound. Under a minute to go. Keeping the dribble alive.
Keep it off the sideline. Keep it out of the corners. Keep it in the middle third.
Notre Dame running out of time. Connor, open three, Nopu. In and out. King finds Hidalgo. Blocked by Emma.
What a play.
Hidalgo Spins and heads to the line.
And the nuisance that Hidalgo is on the defensive end.
Take a deeper dive into this postseason. Potentially 4 starters looking at their last 24 seconds. Prince. It's good to have a 6-7 bailout. Got smoked by South Carolina, but all those moments bringing this team together. They hadn't played a whole lot prior. Getting a 2 seed. And boldly trying to go where they've never been before. Miles. And now Hidalgo will get an open look. And TCU will let that go out of bounds. They have held Hannah Hidalgo today to 3 of 19.
You got to get it past midcourt. What a game. What a win. The 2 seed.
Capping off the biggest win in school history. The first Sweet 16 turns into the first Elite 8 for TCU as they knock out